Obviously, we all know you're going to say it doesn't mean anything, but what does it mean to the program in general, being the first time in school history?
I think what I hope it means is that people will pay more attention to us, that people will understand, like from outside of Champaign. I think people in Champaign, people at the university know that we have a pretty good volleyball team and they're fun to watch. And what I hope is that it garners some attention from outside of that area, and that maybe it brings some new fans, even from the area, that are like, hey, now I gotta come watch because it's the #1 ranked team in the country. Certainly, it probably helps a little bit with recruiting, and probably our fan base is extremely excited about it, and that's great to see that kind of energy. But inside our circle and inside the team, it really doesn't mean that much, except for that I guess it's somewhat exciting that people think that highly of us, but we don't put a lot of stock in that.
Did you have some initial reaction when the poll was dropped at 2 o'clock yesterday?
I mean, we kind of knew it was going to happen, or we felt like it probably would. So we talked about it as a team on Sunday, just with Cal and Stanford both losing, and us being undefeated and then third in the polls. Actually, Cal and Stanford losing twice. That had a big. We're like, it's probably going to happen, so let's be prepared for it. And so no, I had no reaction. It was more like, okay, that's what I expected, And we kind of knew that even before the match at Wisconsin, we had some time to kind of prepare for the idea. So, preparing for the idea is more like managing the team and making sure that we don't get too caught up in that, because we lose this weekend, it goes away pretty fast.
You talked about that. Moving forward with as far as wins and losses, you're undefeated. Coming to town on Saturdays, Purdue, they're undefeated, and you have the possibility, barring something on Friday, to have an undefeated matchup of two big teams in the conference. What does that mean for you guys going to that matchup, going against somebody that has no losses and hasn't had any skid marks yet?
It's Purdue. It means that we're playing Purdue. That's a great team. We're not, whether they lost or not, they're going to be Purdue and they're going to be tough. I mean, we're really just worried about Indiana right now. Indiana's beat it last time we played them at their place. They gave us a beatdown. I mean, they beat up on us pretty good. We barely competed with those guys, and so that's where our focus is right now, is on Indiana. If it comes and we're both undefeated, I think that'll be good. Again, like the rankings, it'll be great for the press and all that. If Purdue had 5 losses and we had 7 losses, it's still going to be a battle, just because they're two teams that are very competitive, and Purdue is always our matches are always tough. They're always a grind.
How will it help you seeing them earlier this year? I mean, obviously they have the same advantage as you.
Yeah.
But is there things you saw that you're really going to take to the court on Saturday?
Yes, yeah, a lot. But I think it's equal. We both saw, now we have at least 4 matches on each other. We have a couple more, and I'm sure they have a couple more from other opponents that they played. But it'll help us. We'll know each other pretty well. It'll be about who executes, and it'll come down to simple things like who serves and passes better, and who does a better job executing their defensive plan.
Talk about a little bit about last week. I know it's a big win in Minnesota, and you pick up Wisconsin, who is no pushover either in the Big Ten. Just talk about picking up 2 road wins to start off Big Ten and what you saw from your team.
That's huge. I mean, 2 road wins, especially going in a top 10 team. If you want to put any stock in the rankings, I just think Minnesota's a great team. But go there on the road in front of a good crowd, and the first match of the Big Ten. I really think that the first half of the Big Ten's a big deal, because everyone's kind of feeling themselves out and they're trying to figure out what you have, and to get 2 road wins, I mean, that speaks volumes, I think, about how competitive the team is and what's possible with this group. I think we got a tough run, because we have 6 road matches in the first half and we have 4 in the second, and we play against them tough. If we look down the line, I don't want to look too far ahead, but we have the road matches. We have Ohio State, Penn State, and then we have Northwestern and Nebraska all on the road. First half of the Big Ten, if we start the second half, we'll know who we are really, and we don't really start figuring out where teams stand until that first time around.
So it must be real nice to finally come home and get a couple Big Ten games on the home court.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. It's been every other weekend we've been home or away, so I think we kind of got a nice little rhythm, and I feel like last weekend that we were home with the Louisville Purdue felt like a Big Ten weekend to me, with just the level of competition and the teams that were here. So I don't know. I think the girls are excited. I don't know. They're excited to play because it's going to be 2 great opponents and they want to compete, and they like playing in front of their home fans.